welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be jumping into the sydneygrace Temptalia palette, and this is the Quintessence. But I've used these all three palettes, and I love the formula, so I want to pull it again out today to see what we can come up with. But I do know I want to use the gray and silver shades to see what we can come up with. So let's get started, and I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what we are doing this morning. So we're going, my eyes are already primed with my Norm, back to my Plan to Make It by Yolanda eyeshadow foundation base in the shade Foundation. So I've already have those primed, so we're going to make sure they're smooth and ready for the shadows. So now we're going to go in with, let's start out with this. Here's the brush. My grandbaby was over here yesterday playing these brushes, so I have no idea how and where she put them. But we're going to make it work. So I'm going to take the MAC 217 brush, and this is flat shader, kind of little fluffy brush, and we're going to take the shade Parallax, and this more taupey shade, the third shade from the last shade on the second row, and we're going to take that shade and place it in our crease area. And if you haven't tried any of sydneygrace shades, this was my first purchase from the brand, and this was a great purchase. These shades are like really blendable and really good. I'm gonna see if they, I know I see where some YouTubers say they have like sales and stuff, so I'm gonna see if they're gonna have maybe like some Christmas sales or something like that. I'm gonna see if I can pick up some more shadows, because this is a great formula. And if you have any of her shadows, whether it's this collection or just another eyeshadow palette or a set, let me know if you like the formula, how it works for you. Because I liked it in all three of the palettes when I used them. And I'm just still stamping this taupey, smoky, grayish shade into my crease before I blend. And I'm just using the flat side of the brush to place this shade. And I'm using this brush because I don't want to make it too smoky and the gray go all the way up to my brow bone and it look like I have a black eye. I don't even know how this is going to turn out, to be honest with you, so it may still look that way, but I'm trying to prevent it because it will get out of hand. Because a lot of times when I have a vision on what I want it to look like, it does not. So we're just going to continue to pat the shadows. And I'm patting it, trying to make sure it's a little deeper, because I did not set the eyeshadow base, and I don't want to separate the shadow and it starts looking patchy until I've placed enough to where I feel like it's dried a bit, where I can blend it. Because I think sometimes when we use shadows, and if that base is still on the tacky wet side, the shadows will start separating and you'll have patches on your in your eyeshadow. So I think that's placing like really well. And like I said, I'm sticking mainly in this crease area. I like the way it is placing. Now I've never used this shade before. I've only used, I think, maybe like 2 to 3 shades out of each palette. But I know I haven't used this one. So I'm liking how that's placing, like really, really good. So now I'm gonna focus it right in that crease so I can start blending. Like right in the crease. So yeah, I like that. Okay, I think that should about do it, so I can start working on the next step. And I'm just going in the shape of my eye. And sometimes I tilt my head so I can make sure my brush, I can see how it's placed. Because when my head's straight up, I can't really see the shape of my eye when I'm placing the shadows. So if you find it a little helpful, let me know. Because it really does help me when I'm placing, especially like in my crease area. So now I'm going to take, I just dropped that brush. So now I am going to go in with, I'm trying to find a fluffier brush so I can blend. We're going to take this Morphe M332 brush, and it's this really soft, like dome type fluffy brush, and we're going to blend out the edges in circular motions. We're not going to go up too high. I'm going to lift my eyes so I can focus mainly on blending out these edges, because I don't want to go up any higher with this shade. Oh, I'm all out of frame. I am sorry. Let me fix this, because that's not going to work. Okay. So now we're just going to continue to blend out these edges. And I'm lightly doing light strokes and circular motions just around the edges of the shadow. So I'll do the same thing with this eye. Lightly blend in circular motions so we can get it seamless. And I'm having no problems blending this shade. And I'm barely even touching it with the brush. That's just how easy these shadows are to blend. So we're going to do the same thing again on this eye. I'm just going to like light circular motions. And I know it looks like a little hot mess right now, but we're going to fix it. Okay, so that's the highest I want to go. So let's do the other eye. Kind of move some of the shadow up a little bit. And you're just using what's on the tip of the brush where you started blending, and just focusing it more in this empty area. And kind of just lightly blend it. Sort of match this eye. We may have to place a little bit more on the other eye. Okay, so yeah, we're going to put a little bit more on the tip of the brush, the same color, so we can get that placement in this inner corner like we have the other eye. Okay, so now we're just going to blend the outer V and the crease area a little bit. I'm just doing this windshield wiper motion just to make sure it's kind of the same circular motion, the same shape with the shadows, like a rainbow. Because we're going to put another shade on top of this one too, so there's no harshness. And we're just lightly blending. I'm liking how that's coming together. So now with this same brush, once we're done making sure that's placed, because when we do a little more blending and stuff and add it, it's going to come together. We're going to take a little bit more of that shade on this same brush, on the side and blend right in that crease area. And we're not going to go up to where we was when we was blending the edges, because what we're doing now is just placing the shade back into the crease where some of it got blended, trying to place it in that inner corner area. And we'll do the same thing for the other eye, making sure we place it directly into the crease, bringing that intensity back to that area. Okay, so I need a little bit more for this eye, right in this area. Okay, so I think that's doing a little bit of what I want it to do. Just again making sure I have this shade to how I want it. So now we're gonna go in with this Makeup Shack T36 brush, which is this fluffy blending brush, and we're gonna take the Reaching Zenith, which is a deeper gray smoke, I would say smoke shade, yeah. And we're going to take that on this brush and place it in the outer V on the lower lash line. We're not going to go up right into the crease, but right on this outer V, just placing it. And then lightly blend after you place it. Like I said, these shadows blend like a dream, so it don't take a whole lot of work to blend these shadows. And it's more like a blue blackish type shade, which goes well with this smoke gray shade, taupey gray. And then we're gonna blend it. I hope this this look coming out right, because it's going to be a hot mess, because yesterday was not the day for me. My eyebrows was all jacked up, and oh my gosh, it just was a mess. My setting powder did not do well. I don't know what was going on in yesterday's video, but it was like a hot mess. But you guys will see it, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it, because I was like, these eyebrows are like not for me today. These are like really, really dark today. They look way better than yesterday, so I'll take them. So we're just going to blend a little more. And I'm liking this, and then blend out a little bit. And again, I'm not going all the way up in my crease. I'm just giving it that intensity right in this outer V area. I like it so far. Now we're going to use this same brush, and we're going to go with a black shade. Really, Michelle, on a work day, but yeah. So we're going to take Umbra, which is the first deep black shade on the first row. This same brush, we're going to take the tip of it this time. Let me show you guys. We're not going to take the side, we're going to take the tip and just go in the shadow, just with the tip. And I probably shouldn't have done it that many times. And then we're going to just, on that lower lash line, I'm not right at that outer V. I'm right a little bit from it, because I just want to place it right on top of it. Am I out of frame again? Right on top of it, away from that outer V. So we're gonna do the same thing. Hopefully I'm in frame for this one, where you can see where I'm just placing it like right here, not directly on the outer V, but close to it, and just blending it back and forth in the shape of a V. And just making sure it's right there on the tip of the crease where it's blended and not too harsh. These shadows are like so good. I'm going to go back in with this fluffy brush, and we're going to blend one more time these edges, and we're not applying any more shadow. Like I said, we don't want it to be like a black deep dark eye and it overtakes everything. So we're just kind of reshaping the shadow and blending these edges where we place these other two deep shades. I'm really feeling good about it so far. I'm liking it so far. The placement, I like it. The formula is good. So now I'm just going to blend out these edges so we can prepare them for the next shadow. I like this. This is like so cute and cool. But first I'm going to go back in with this Makeup Shack T36 brush with this black shade and flick some more back on here. Because I feel like I kind of took a little bit off when I did that. Okay. I'm liking it so far. Now we're going to go in with our Too Faced glitter glue. And the norm, put our two little small dollops on the back of my hand and place where I'm going to place the shimmer shadow. So do the same thing for the other eye. And place it and blend it all the way across the center, but I'm not going to the outer V. So now let's make sure the show. Let's see. Let's try the Milky Way, which is the second. It's like a look like a duochrome type shade. This is what it looks like. Let's watch it. Oh, pretty. We're gonna place that on the lid. So I'm gonna take let's take this Sephora, just this little small Sephora flat shader brush, and it looks like this. It's a little small brush. We're gonna take this brush and pack the shade onto the brush and place it on the areas where there's no shadow. And I'm going precisely up my crease, because this is more like a glitter formula the more I'm using it, so I don't want it to take away from my eyeshadow look. And I don't want a real glittery eye. I just want a pretty sparkly eye, because I love some shimmers. This is a beautiful, beautiful shade. I don't know what type of, look like some greenish. I don't know, but this is a pretty shade. Ooh, I like it. This is super pretty. And I'm going closer towards my outer V, but not all the way, because we're going to blend a little more black shade back on there. We're just placing a little more. And I'm doing this because it's so dark. I want to brighten it up just a little bit. And I'm lightly blending the edges, the shape of my eye, and then place the rest back on my lid. Let's do the same thing for the other eye, and this should be about what we are doing for the lid. Lightly blend. This is like pretty. And I usually run from black. So we're going to take this Makeup Shack brush again. We're going to actually take a little bit more. We're going to mix the gray smoke shade and the black shade together. And place it back into the outer V. And we're going to flick the edges a little bit. Do the same thing for this eye. That is like coming together so good. Just making sure this color is placed here. So now we're going to go in with, let's take the, trying to find a more, I think this will be perfect. The ColourPop E9 brush, this small little pencil brush. And we're going to go back in with the first shade we started with, just a little bit, because I feel like it's kind of gone. And we're going to blend it back over this shimmer shade. That way the eye look is not like so totally dark. Yeah. And just blend it right there, right above that crease, but not too high. We just want to make sure we can see this more neutral shade. Okay, so we're just gonna blend in our circular motions and windshield wiper motions. Okay. I'm all out of frame. I hate when I do that. I'm going to have to zoom you guys back out just a little bit because there. When I go too far in, it just takes me all out of frame. I get so focused with my mirror in front of me that I'm like all the way down trying to see what I'm doing. So now we're going to take this Makeup Shack fluffy brush. This is the T68. And I'm going to take the matte shadow I used yesterday, only because it's so dark. I don't want to close this look like all the way off, being too darkish. But we're going to take this same little eyeshadow, this little brulee, brulee cream, and set the top area of the eye so we can blend out these gray tones, and it lightens it up a little bit. It's not so dark. The whole eye is not like really dark. And I'm just placing it right on top of the crease, a little bit above the crease area on top of the grayish shade, but mainly focusing most of it on the areas where my trying to pay attention to my phone and work, where my base sits. So now we're going to blend, and this is taking longer than I expected. You know, I guess because these deep colors, you got to really make sure they're blended like really well. And I'm just blending in circular motions, just making sure this gray shade is blended like really good. We can't have this going to work, because yesterday I can't do it 2 days in a row looking hideous with the looks. Now my eyeshadow was like really pretty. I like that, but trying my best not to do what I did yesterday, because it took everything in me not to wipe that makeup off at my desk, because I keep micellar water and makeup wipes, because if I feel like it's going downhill for me, I will wipe it off at my desk and keep pushing. And me and my coworkers, they'll come in and say, "What happened to your face?" it's gone. My eyes will start irritating, like everything will start going wrong. And when they come back in, my whole look is like gone. So I'm going to take the Makeup Shack T36 with the black on it. And I didn't apply any more shadow, just to kind of fill in where we just blended those edges. And just put that black back on my outer V. This is like a beautiful shade, beautiful shade, beautiful shade. So now the last thing we're going to do with this lid area, we're going to take this Sigma E36, it's just a little fluffy brush, and blend out these edges where we place the shadows on the lid and the crease area. Just make sure they're blended really, really good. Because I didn't want to take a fluffier brush and then start placing this shadow all over my brow bone area and stuff by moving it and blending it, and it starts just like going up. And I want to keep this more like a precise eye look today. This should have been a weekend look, not a work look. But I'm going to rock it anyways. I'm liking how it's turning out. So the last thing I do want to do while we're here with this is take this same shimmer shade we use on the lid and place a little bit more on the lid and going up into the crease. Okay. And I'm using this brush. I like this because it's not packing too much. It's giving you just the right amount of extra shadow where, like I said, it doesn't look like you got a whole glitter ball on your eyelid. That's really pretty. The same thing for this eye. I don't know the shade. I'm gonna have to go look up the what shadow colors are in this duochrome, because this is like so pretty. Okay. Wow. Taking this last brush again. The one that we have the black on. And again, I know y'all tired of seeing me do this, but I'm just trying to make sure it's all the way together, honey. Back with this brush again, these edges one more time. And the big fluffy brush, blend out this edges one more time. We're not going to touch the outer V, but we are just making sure the gray shade and the cream brulee is blended together. And I am loving this. So let me zoom you guys back in. Let's clean the eye area. And around here while we're already on, so when I go off, I can just focus on this face. Try make sure these things are even. If they're not, you know what, this is gonna be 1 week for me where they just act a fool, and we're gonna go with it, because I really do need to get them arched, so that may be my issue. So we're gonna zoom in. And I love the way this eyeshadow performed and the way the look has come together. So what I'm doing now, y'all know me, when I get on here and I zoom up, because you can't see this when you're really doing it, your shades. I'm just blending this gray with this brulee Wet n Wild shade, and just making sure it's like blended like really, really good. This is like so pretty. I love it. That is like pretty. I think this is like by far one of my prettiest looks. I like that. That's out of my comfort zone of just 2 shadows, but this is pretty. I like it. So I'm gonna zoom you guys back out. So this is the eye look. Pretty. I love it. I'm gonna go off camera, finish the rest of my face, come back and show you guys my final look, and I will be back. See you guys in a bit. Welcome back, and this is the final look. The eyes are like so pretty to me. I love these eyes. This palette is really, really good. These colors are so pretty. Like I said earlier, I have all 3 palettes. If you have not tried it and you want to, I suggest that you should try it. If you have not tried it and want to try it, these shades are beautiful. So to finish the rest of my face, I did my normal foundation. I used both Juvia's Place to blush and bronze with this morning. I highlighted my under eye with this MAC in the shade Whisper of Guilt. It was a holiday collection a couple of years ago. I highlighted my cheeks with the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. This is a beautiful highlighter as well. For my lashes this morning, I used the Cala lashes in the style Clio. And I got these from my local TJ Maxx for $3.99. I don't really like the band on it, but I'm using them because I bought them. Because it's kind of like, it's not really flexible. And it's kind of hard. They'll probably be out before the day's over with. Because they're like really hard. And when I spend my money on something, I like to try to use it and make the best of it. But I would not buy this brand. As long as the band is like that, I would not buy it again. Because it's not comfortable for my eyes. For my lips today, I used my Lorac liner that I've been using in the shade Duchess, and I applied the nudie gloss and topped it with some e.l.f. plumping gloss to get this look, and it is beautiful. So, oh my gosh, what's going on this morning? So I'm gonna zoom you guys in to see the final look of the eyes, and I really, really do like how it turned out. These eyes are like pretty, pretty, pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I really do like how it turned out. It matches my shirt, and I'm actually headed off to work. So I'll see you guys in my next video. And if you have not done so already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and become a part of my YouTube family. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.